There it is, guys. Topic of this week's video is the Tethrd Mantis and saddle hunting. A little bit different video than what you're used to on this channel, but prepare yourself, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more videos like this and a lot more hunting videos coming this fall as the season opens up. It's a longer video, but I felt it was appropriate for you guys to be able to hear the conversations that Matt and I were having while we were testing this out. To wrap it all up, if you're just wanting the Cliff Notes version, I'll give it to you right now. Neither Matt or I have ever hunted out of a saddle. We have never even been into one until last week. We were very skeptical, but now we're huge fans. Can't wait to try them out this fall. It's going to save us a lot of time and a lot of effort, even on private land. A lot of times you're seeing this for public land hunting, but for private land hunters, this is probably a system for you as well. We have a lot of stands in place that are traditionally good year after year, but unfortunately things change, food sources change, and there's always that stand or that spot you need to be in, and instead of hauling in ladders or stacking sticks and permanent tree stands or trying to figure out how you can get in there and hunt it, this is probably a really good option. It's exactly how Matt and I are going to use it in the future. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please subscribe, follow the channel for the future, and hopefully this fall you'll be seeing some videos of Matt and I harvesting deer out of this right here. So Matt and I live about an hour from our farms that we hunt. So we're down at one of our local river accesses. It's September the 2nd, so there's a lot of background noise. But so you know, there's not a bunch of rednecks that we brought behind the scenes. They're just already here. But we're gonna cover the saddle first. So everything fits in this little bag. This is a Tethrd Mantis saddle that we're trying out. And forewarned, Matt and I have never done this. We've never hunted out of saddles. We've hung an absolute ton of tree stands over the years. One summer I hung over 150 different tree stands. Now a lot of those were sets for another show. Hanging tree stands is a huge part of what we do. So that should give you a little bit of idea why this is exciting for us and why our shoulders are the most excited. This is everything I need right here, and frankly you don't even need these. You can just carry some screw and steps, but this is what we're excited about. I don't know, weighs less than 3 pounds, I believe. Everything's right here. Matt and I are going to be trying this out, so probably put the camera on the tripod and start giving some looks and seeing what it's all about. So this is the only thing that looks familiar to me coming from the tree stand world: a lineman rope or your tethered strap. That fits in the bag. Next up, this is called a rope man. I have no idea what this is, but we're gonna find out. We've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and apparently this is the cat's pajamas. I'm excited to try this. This looks familiar too, coming from the tree stand world. I don't even need, I can already take that off. There we go. Carabiner. I've got another one there. That's what they're called, right? Carabiners? Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of slang that we just call words, and I don't even know if they're accurate, but here's the actual saddle. It weighs like nothing. That's what's so exciting for us, is we actually do some public land hunting, and then during hunting season on some of our private farms, we run around all the time. We're swapping stands, and so we now have our stands in places that we know are always good, but there's a lot of new areas every year, whether oak trees dropping acorns in an area of the farm we've never hunted. We now have the ability, instead of having to yank tree stands down and moving ladders around, to just go in with our saddles. That's what we're excited about the most, because whether you're private or public land hunter, there comes a time where you need to get into an area that you don't have a tree stand in, and we can do it a lot quicker and a lot less disturbance involved by going to a saddle. So we're going to be testing it out today, getting a feel for it. A little bit of a disclaimer: I'm a guy who's not a fan of heights. Tree stand height and below I'm comfortable. and that's usually in a tree stand. So I'm a little bit already going, how's this gonna feel being in a saddle, kind of leaning out away from the tree, 25 foot up in the air. So we'll see, but there it is. The biggest part of our business as land consultants is helping people improve the habitat, but also prioritizing expenses, whether it's hunting or land management. So we're always looking at what's the best bang for your buck. Should you buy the Primo blind or the Primo, and I'm saying Primo, not the brand, but the Cadillac of tree stands or the Cadillac of blinds. And so for us, we always try to find the best bang for our buck. And so far, having the ability to move around and not have to carry a whole bunch of weight is a big plus. So let's see what it's all about. So there's the prusik knot that every tree stand guy hopefully is aware of, and this replaces that, or can replace that, the rope clamp.
Correct.
Way hot.
It is way hot, but honestly it's kind of cool to be able to do something exciting and new. You feel like you've already done so much, experienced a bunch in the whole hunting not saddle world, but just tree stand world. You're like, I want to try something different.
It kind of feels like, I mean, it sounds terrible, but I've hung so many tree stands with, I guess, past work and hobbies that I feel like I've kind of mastered the art of hanging a tree stand quickly.
Yeah.
And in a lot of scenarios, like what tree stand I would avoid like the plague.
Yeah.
What tree stands to get, different things
just
like that.
really what works and what doesn't work, and that's the cool thing about this is there's such a buzz out there, and there's so many people who are doing it successfully. It's like, gosh, I
feel like
I kind of need to try that. If I
feel
don't
like
try
such
that.
a noob.
Yeah.
So leg straps, and then what I found is I just hooked them right there like that. To me, I felt like that's the perfect place to put them, right?
You can put them there or lower on the actual
They
saddle
say
itself.
right over here.
Yep.
So I could, I guess, personal preference, there or there. Boy, I like the feel of that on the leg though.
I put mine around the leg, so it's a little bit lower, got a little bit more freedom there. And it just tethers right around the tree. You've got
So no need for a harness now, a safety harness.
No, because you also have the lineman's belt attachments like you would on your normal harness. So when you're going up the tree, you've got the additional linemen's that you just use as you're climbing up. So you're always into the tree itself.
I'm more just looking for a quick way to hang and be very mobile.
Well, here's the thing. We do dabble, if you will, in public ground hunting, but even stepping away from that, because there's people who do it all the time, can speak way more educated about it, and just that's their type of hunting. How many times do we go around and hunt a different farm and the food source has changed from October 5th to October 20th?
Whether there's the time.
A guy in a crop ground, how many times, you know, is a combine coming through and it's just changing day to day almost in certain portions of the country, where you got good acorn crops where the trees are, maybe they're coming to a field edge, a food plot, whatever it is. You just have to be mobile, and there's only so many sets that you can have that just makes sense.
Well, I remember hearing about saddles from our friend Seth Harker,
Right.
and another friend, Michael Ingemeyer. Shoot, saddles were popular back in the 80s, but they kind of went away. Now they're back in full force, and I know Seth he's killed a couple of deer recently out of saddles, and has really told us we ought to look at it.
Well, that's a
Here
guy.
we are.
That's a perfect illustration. That's a guy who has tree stands and blinds of all sorts and shape and size, whatever, all around his property, but he still uses saddles because when you need to get somewhere, you don't have time, he's a busy guy, he can just set it up and go.
So, first thoughts like this, I think I need to adjust a little bit because it feels like it's sitting right here.
It's sitting on your bum.
It's sitting above my...
Gotcha.
I just like, looking at this, I'm like, he says this thing Greg tells us, or on one of their videos, that this could hold the Jeep.
Yeah, about 6,000 pound.
My biggest concern has always been, can I shoot?
Right.
How would it affect my shooting?
But as long as your draw right here, it's just right in line with where you're at. So this really shouldn't, as you're swinging around a tree, shouldn't be in too much of a
Oh man,
issue.
that is slick.
And that's slick. You just turn and twist. And here's the other thing. This is basically the back strap.
Mine's
You
right
just
there.
throw it over you there. And this just goes right.
Oh
right
yeah.
to your carabiner as
So
well.
I saw, it's got these little 2 clips on the back here.
Yep.
You can slide those in. You remember, you've seen Tombstone, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember when his brother gets shot and he's on the pool table and bleeding out, and that dog's yakking, and he goes, "Somebody shut that dog up!" So
And I think this is
some
is
people
one of those
don't
things.
use these, right?
It's 100% optional, obviously. But if you're doing a long hunt and you want that additional back support, I mean, I get it. It makes sense. And you can adjust it. You can throw it out even more. Give yourself more room. And here's the other cool thing about it. It seems like a lot of people are bow hunting out of this setup, but truthfully, if you are a gun hunter, I could imagine having the perfect ability to move around a tree. You've got yourself the ability to brace up 3 points on that rifle and shoot really efficiently out to great distances. But
This is unbelievable.
yeah. And that's the thing, you move around that whole deal as much as you need to. You just keep swinging. But I think you have more ability and range of shots from this setup than versus out the tree stand.
Probably so.
In most instances, you can swing around.
For you and I, the problem's always been, in filming, has always been, you can shoot 75% of the pie if you were looking at it from like a pie graph. But because you had a cameraman or whatever in the way.
One place was kind of in the way.
So now, if we're both, you might still have that if you're both hanging right here close.
If you're both hanging on the same level, but if you're staggered a little bit,
or
I
in
think you'll be
opposite trees, you could.
Different branches off different trees where it forks. You can
I can totally see what the buzz is all about now.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wait till you scale up there and get up 18 feet.
Wow. I was a little bit skeptical, I'll be honest. I saw everybody doing it and I was like, man, why can't a preset tree stand during the summer, why couldn't that be an option? But now I'm seeing, of course, run and gun, and I knew there was a pretty good chance it would be the best thing, or a really good option, but I can totally see why guys just completely get away from tree stands and just hunt out of these.
Not to mention the cost.
Yeah.
How you can be in any tree, any situation for the price of the saddle, sticks, and the predator stand.
And you can get in a lot, like that tree right there you could get in, which behind the camera, but in no way would I put a tree stand in that.
No, you could. That's why I want to try and fork a tree and just be like, this is now huntable, or a leaning tree, aggressive lean.
Wow. I was a little bit skeptical, I'll be honest. I saw everybody doing it and I was like, man, why can't a preset tree stand during the summer, why couldn't that be an option? But now I'm seeing, of course, run and gun, and I knew there was a pretty good chance it would be the best thing, or a really good option, but I can totally see why guys just completely get away from tree stands and just hunt out of these.
Not to mention the cost.
Yeah.
How you can be in any tree, any situation for the price of the saddle, sticks, and the predator stand.
And you can get in a lot, like that tree right there you could get in, which behind the camera, but I would, in no way would I put a tree stand in that.
No, you could. That's why I want to try and fork a tree and just be like, this is now huntable, or a leaning tree, aggressive lean.